Hi, we're here today with Katrina Chalifoux, and she was our 2008 winner, grand prize winner, and also won second place two other times. And we wanted to see what she's up to and ask her some questions about winning the contest and how she felt about winning.
So we wanted to know what inspired you to enter the toilet paper wedding dress contest and how did you hear about it?
There was a big thing going on because it was 2007 and there were a lot of weddings that were July 7th, 2007. So the paper did a big spread on all these things going on for 777. And there was an article in there about your contest. And so I became intrigued and I had never even heard of the wedding game before. So I thought, how would anyone even do that? So the more I thought about it, the more I wondered how you could actually do it. And so I started messing around and I called my niece and I said, I need a model. And she was all in. So that's how I found out about it and became interested in it.
How did
Awesome.
you come up with the idea for your design?
For the 2008 dress,
2008 specifically.
yes. And I don't know, I think I was just kind of looking through a lot of magazines and a lot of different dress styles and I kind of played with that a little bit and decided, maybe I'd have maybe these flounces on the back and I just wanted something kind of simple, but because I wanted to do all these flowers and stuff and kind of give it a lace-like look. So that's basically what I did. And I'm not an artist, but I was, doing the
Oh, I don't
drawing
know
and
about that.
messing around.
I don't know
Yeah,
about
well,
not being an artist, but
You definitely are an artist. What was your profession at the time when you first entered the contest?
I was not working at the time. I had been laid off. My job was being moved out of the country, and I had been an electronics technician, and I repaired two-way radios mainly for a long time.
So that's a far cry from working with toilet paper for sure.
Yeah,
dresses, right?
yeah. But I grew up sewing and in dance and costumes and all that kind of stuff, and so I really was kind of more founded with the sewing and dressmaking and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until later on where I was just trying to figure out how I could earn a living like a man. And so I thought I'd try to get into a more male dominated field and see if it worked better for me that way.
What challenges did you encounter while you were creating the dress? Because toilet paper is not an easy medium for sure.
No, but it worked into so many things that you wouldn't imagined, but and it actually turned out to be easier to do a lot of things with. But I think especially in the beginning when it was toilet paper, tape, and glue, it was more challenging to try to find ways to fasten like the dress onto the model and to keep it secured because you didn't and especially I'm just trying to figure it all out anyway. So we kind of played around that, like I was doing all kinds of things with my niece and I'm like, let's try and wrap you with this and that and stuff. So we were kind of playing around with a lot of that stuff. So I think that was my biggest thing was how do I put this on her and make it fit well.
And I just wanted to say something else about this because you've entered a few times and you've always placed and your dresses are fantastic. And I think you're one of the first people that really did some innovative techniques with the toilet paper.
Yeah.
Like you did that dress that had the yellow coloring on it was fantastic. And that was a different, unique technique than other people. I don't even know if anyone's ever done that since, but could you tell us a little bit about your unusual techniques or how you made some of those flowers with the molds and things like that?
Some of the molds or some of the flowers I made, like for the 2008 dress, I got the candy molds and I would puree the toilet paper. I'd put it in a blender and I had tried like boiling things and stuff, but that just seemed to be the most efficient grinding it into this pulp. And I would put it in these candy molds. And I used to set them out in the sun and I just needed a faster way to do it. My husband said, well, how about the food dehydrator? So I started putting trays of that in there, and it was like a 24-hour a day thing. I felt like I was constantly just pressing flowers in there and popping them out. And then some of the other ones, I just kind of like, I used seashells to shape toilet paper over it, made petals, and just kind of a lot of different things like that. I would buy like sometimes some silk flowers to just kind of see what the shapes were, and the bend that they used. And then sometimes I'd get real flowers and try to copy them. And because there's all these different variations inside the flowers, that you learn a lot about flowers when you're trying to recreate it with toilet paper.
What advice would you give to someone who was interested in entering the contest for the first time?
Well, I think just because it's such a unique medium to work with, I think if you just start playing with it and trying to see, like my first thought was, how do I make a fabric? Because I didn't want it to just be things taped together in strips of it. I wanted it to look like a real dress. So I started, and I taped them together, and I hated that. And then I just started doing things on how can I get this to form the way I want it to. And I think if you have an idea of what you want the dress to do, then maybe you can,
Figure it
maybe
out.
focus on like one part of it, on how to make that bit. And then
I think you were the first person to really make it look like fabric,
Yes.
so much so that we did not believe it at first. That's
Oh,
true.
right, when
I remember that specifically. We're like, this cannot
No.
be
Yeah, we actually
real.
saw your photos and we were like, this is,
No.
she didn't make this out of toilet paper. This is fabric.
that's very nice to hear. Yeah, I
We
would
we even thought maybe paper towels, and we were like,
Yeah, we're like, what
how'd
is
she do that?
It was amazing. Yeah.
I was I don't know how I just kind of got this idea, and I started gluing them together, and I used spray glue, and I just layered all these layers of toilet paper, and I took it out in the driveway, and I sprayed it down, and I patted it with towels, and I let it dry in the sun, and I ironed it, and I just really just kept working on it. And
Wow.
even though it came out really nice, it wasn't until like after the dress was made, we were taking pictures, and it had a train on it, and she turned, and it just moved like fabric, and it was just like the most thrilling thing. We were just so excited about it. We're like, oh my gosh, look how that it lays. So it was not something I expected it to really do.
Nice.
So it just kind of was fortunate, and it happened.
You were our first person to go on the Today Show. So winning and going on the Today Show, how did it impact your life when that happened?
Yeah, there was a lot of attention, and I mean the local TV station had me on for an interview, and then I went into Chicago and I interviewed there, and so it was kind of this whirlwind thing, and it was kind of crazy, and it was exciting and exhausting all at the same time. And I didn't really pursue any kind of career path at the time, so it's not like I was able to take advantage and say, look what I've done. But it still is something that everybody just loves to see, and I mean, I always have to have some pictures kept in a folder on or album on my phone, so because somebody's always saying they want to see this, or somebody will find out I've done this, and it's just kind of just a fun thing for people to look at. And
we have to do the same, just to tell people about it,
Yeah, to tell people they want to see the pictures, because they're amazing.
Yes, as much as we're enmeshed in the toilet paper wedding gown world, there's a lot of people who've never heard of the contest. So then it's like, oh yeah, they do this every year, and it's just such a great fun thing to do.
If your dress, and actually in your case, any of your dresses, were to be worn by a celebrity, who would you like to see wearing and why?
Well, I kind of really thought about this, and it was, I went through this thing like, well, like they couldn't be married, and they'd have to you know, have this certain thing, but I thought I just gave that up. And because I was thinking about how Blake Lively is always so fantastic at all these fashion events,
Right.
and she's just kind of got that sort of playfulness about her where I think she has a lot of fun with it. So it kind of reminds me of my niece's personality. So I decided that's who would probably be the best person to at least to
Great pick.
wear one. Yeah.
Yeah, great pick.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with her, can you?
No.
Can you describe to us the feeling that you had when you first found out that you won the toilet paper wedding dress contest?
You know, I just think I was just kind of shocked by it because I don't have this habit of winning, you know. It's just not like I've got terrible luck, but it's like, you know, I can't win a free pop with a twist off cap or a free ticket out of lottery or anything. And all the dresses that year, you know, this is the first time I got to see anyone else's. And so when you get up there and you're looking at what other people have done and you get to see it outside of a photo, then it's like really intimidating and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so great. And, you know, so I was really stunned when I was announced the winner, because you know, you start feeling like, wow, they did so much more and everything. So it was very exciting. So
I remember you being nervous. I remember you seeing the other dresses and you
She got nervous.
expressing that you were nervous about.
Oh, yeah.
Deserving to be there, and you are such a talent. So yeah, those other things, winning the lotto or whatever, that's all luck, but yours was
Not
talent
luck.
and
Yeah,
well
it's-
deserved.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it is kind of nice to be able to have some sort of input in how something happens, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like you said, just luck, but you know, it's still, I felt kind of lucky that all these things sort of came together with my experiments and stuff. It just was so amazing every time you tried something and it worked. Yeah.
Tell us, if you could create a theme collection of toilet paper dresses, what would it be?
You know, I really think that if I had a collection, I'd want it to be something that was kind of easy and light and romantic, and just I don't know. I guess that just that light and easy romantic
So your theme
feeling.
would be romantic dresses? All
Yeah, I
romantic?
think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I really love all the lace and all the bows and all the flowingness. And you know, it's not that I don't dislike the chic ones, but especially if you're making toilet paper, you have to have something to show on them. So
Right. Agree.
Yes, I agree too. How would you describe your winning dress in 2008 in 3 words?
flirty and structured, and just it was just a kind of a sassy dress, you know. We just really were especially when she got it on, and it was kind of this boom sort of looking on the dress, you know, when you get it all on and it's like, wow, that looks just gorgeous on you. And so it's just like every time I've made a dress, it's just been so fun, you know. So I think any dress I'd make would be considered fun, because I feel like that the mood of the model is a good big part of how that dress comes out.
It can make a difference.
Yes. Yeah. It's kind of an experience for me and the model, because you know you're both messing with things, and then you have to get them to be in some kind of awkward
Situation.
times to yeah you're just like, can we try this to see? And you know, because you know, we did you know, built-in bras and all kinds of stuff, so we were a little more involved, you know, and you have to get to a comfort level and stuff. So, and it just, some of it just is silly that you're doing. So it was, it's just, I think when you make clothes for somebody, you probably have a lot of that, but this just has that extra level of,
Yeah.
you have to almost mold it on them.
Yeah. You covered this a little bit already, but what was the most surprising and or unexpected things that you learned during the process of making? And this could be for all of your dresses, because you probably
Yeah.
had a little different experience than other people, because you had one and you were learning, and then you got to come back and do other dresses. So what was unexpected? Did anything unexpected happen when you were on your second or third dress?
Well, you know, I think with all of them, it's just all the different things that you can do with the toilet paper, and it works. You know, I mean, I macrameed the veil on the first one, and so it had like this lace veil, and I made all these different flowers and just almost like an embroidery stuff. I mean, all these different twisting and turning and folding and all these different things you can do with the toilet paper just constantly amazed me, you know, and you know, you can singe it and you can mold it and just do so many things with it. And I'm still anxious at some point to do another one because I've got some
Waiting.
other.
We're
Huh?
waiting. We're waiting
Yeah.
for you.
Our 20th anniversary is coming up, and what better way to have
Yeah,
the best one ever is if you entered the 20th. It would just be so fitting. It would be amazing. And
that's so nice, you guys. You know, you talked about careers and everything else, but I just think when you guys started the thing and we all went to New York and meeting you guys and just everybody that's entered and all the people I've met, I mean, that's such a great thing. I mean, I think that's just a fantastic part of this. It's almost like it, you know, this whole community of us doing
is.
this.
We
And
call
everybody
everyone our
is,
tribe for real.
yeah, there's so
Real.
many inventive and just fantastically talented people in all fields. And it's so amazing to get to know so many people and everybody's so nice.
Yeah.
And it's just a feel good thing all the way through.
Oh, thank you.
love it.
Yeah, I do.
Love
I
it.
just, yeah, I
We
really,
every time you've entered, and we are literally keeping our fingers crossed that you do enter for the 20th.
well, I really hope so. I've been kind of itching to do this for a few more years, and I keep thinking, well, I'm going to experiment with this and that. And
Is there anything else you want to add or say or ask us?
I just want you guys to know how much I appreciate how much you do, and you guys are just such a fun team, and you put a lot into this, and you really, you know, make everyone so welcome, and it's very nice, and I am so glad I opened that article and read that
Us too.
and got past the why would anyone do this.
You all say that and then you do it again, so whatever.
Yeah.
Thanks to you and the other talented contestants, it's made the whole contest everything.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you.
Oh, thank you.
And
I
thanks
just,
for doing this today. We really
oh, you're
appreciate
welcome.
it. Thank
Yes,
you
it was,
so much.
it's so nice to see you guys. I really do miss getting to be involved in it. So yeah, I'm gonna really try hard to make sure I'm available next year to do this, because I know my great niece would be thrilled to do it, and you know, then we'll come full circle there too.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
Perfect.
Well, thanks again, and hopefully we talk to you soon.
You too. That's you guys, if you need anything from me, just get a hold of me, and I'm pretty available.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
All right,
Okay.
take care.
Good
Bye.
night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.